Chimamanda accuses Lagos Hospital, Eurocare to be precise, of negligence over death of toddler son. Chimamanda is an author, a writer, our icon that has put Nigeria on the map. And she was in Nigeria to celebrate the festive season with her son. And what followed next is so saddening and reminds us over and over again of a failed medical system. The story you're about to hear is very shocking. And it's not the first time we will hear that a child or somebody who has been in an accident being held or being carried on a shoulder or carried just recklessly into the car, not an ambulance, no stretcher, just like that. This reminds us every day of a failed medical system. It also reminds us that when the rain falls, it falls on the rich and the poor, on the old and the young. It falls on whoever. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor. Why am I saying this? It is not the first time we will hear that people lose their lives. Just going to the hospital alone, some people think it's a death sentence because of lack of basic amenities, infrastructures, things that are just supposed to be normal in hospitals. You will also see negligence in staffs, and staffs who are supposed to have empathy, who are supposed to have conscience. You would also get to hear, because a family member was on Arise TV. It is not a fake news. I know when I first heard it, I was like, this is AI. Chimamanda's son, a 21 months old child? No. But it's not. Listen to what a family member had to say.
Umadu, a dual board-certified internal medicine physician with over 30 years of clinical experience, who is speaking out both as a family and as a medical professional in a call for transparency, accountability, and urgent healthcare. My condolences first of all, and great to have you here on Perspectives. So let me start. We just heard the shocking news that your nephew's death was due to medical negligence. So please, can you tell us what exactly happened? First of all, our condolences, as I said before.
Thank you very much. So my nephew was admitted at Atlantis Pediatric Care Hospital and was being managed there.
Here in Nigeria?
In Lagos.
Yes.
He had been stabilized, and there were plans underway to have him moved to Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore, Maryland. The team had requested that he receive an MRI of the brain, a spinal tap, and a central line in order to further evaluate him and prepare him for the journey. Atlantis recommended Eurocare as the best place to get these procedures done. He was transported by ambulance to Eurocare Hospital in VI and was taken to the MRI suite. At the MRI suite, he was reported to be restless. And so to do the MRI scan, you do need the patient to be still. So he received IV sedation.
He received what?
IV, intravenous sedation with propofol.
Yes. Sorry, my condolences.
So he received IV sedation for the imaging, and the medical director, shortly after that, affirmed to Chimamanda that he received too much sedation. Wow. Between the MRI suite and the cardiac cath lab, where he was to receive the second procedure, the spinal tap and the central line, he was unmonitored. He was supposed to be on oxygen. He was not on oxygen. And so reportedly arrives at the cardiac cath
This
suite.
was in the same hospital, in the same building.
Reportedly arrived at the cardiac cath suite, pulseless. And so CPR was instituted. He was placed on a life support machine, mechanical ventilation. And of note, he was transported, a critically ill baby who came in on oxygen.
That was, at that time, not breathing.
That at the time was found to be pulseless and transported in a way that was not according to standards of practice, and was found to be pulseless in the cardiac cath lab. Reports, as we know, investigations are still ongoing. What happened in that interim is yet to be determined.
So, three things.
The medical negligence happened between after he got over-sedated, as affirmed by the medical director, and in addition, he was transported by the anaesthetist on his shoulder, unmonitored, not on oxygen. And that is pure and total medical negligence.
Wow.
And a critically ill baby who came in on oxygen was disconnected from his oxygen for transportation, unmonitored.
Well, why was he disconnected from the oxygen?
I can't answer that question.
So that was that due to absolute negligence?
Pure negligence.
So wait,
resulting in cardiac arrest and from the oversedation and brain injury.
So he
from
was
lack of
oversedated, then he was not breathing, and he wasn't given any oxygen.
And so was transported.
And was transported during that time.
During that time, unmonitored and not on oxygen.
With no oxygen tank.
No oxygen. And so he arrived at the MRI suite, pulseless.
And that was at that point in time. It was when they now decided to try and put him on the oxygen. Resuscitate him, which they should have done.
He should have been transported on oxygen and monitored continuously.
Continuously.
Not only oxygen, his blood pressure, his pulse, and his breathing should have been monitored continuously.
But is the hospital aware of this negligence? Have they acknowledged where it went wrong?
They're aware.
So what is now the next step? So,
I'm a physician. I've worked for over 30 years in various healthcare systems. And I've worked at the hospitals, at bedside. This is evidence or a symptom of a totally dysfunctional healthcare system. At the hospital level, probably at the wider society level. And I'm speaking not just as a physician, but as someone who is deeply pained by the loss of my baby boy, my Nkano.
Yes, you've heard it all. Yet another life lost. And there are so many more lives that we lose every day due to negligence. It's a call for help. This is a call for action, a call for medical reformation, a call for a change in every area in the medical field. Lives are being lost every day. And through situations like this, voices are being heard. Whereas if it were cases of a nobody, who hears about them, who talks about them, who actually does anything for them, it's sorry and that's it. You've heard it. If you listen to the full news, they want accountability. They want actions, and they want actions and consequences being meted out, because you cannot just say sorry and go home. If we keep hiding under that, then there will never be a change. People will just keep doing what they are doing. But if there are consequences of things like this, it affects your license. For example, you not being able to practice for a period of time, for example, all over Nigeria, let alone going abroad. I think people will begin to be accountable for what they do, because I cannot understand how in 2026 you could still hear that somebody who is on a life support is being carried, or on oxygen being carried, somebody who was over sedated being carried on the shoulder. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's a call for change. Anyway, your thoughts below. Bye for now. And our deepest condolences to the family of Chimamanda. Thank you so much. Bye.